You've probably noticed that first bit of green that's already breaking through the soil this spring from your spring bulbs. And while we're not out of winter yet, there's really not too much concern about that green foliage that's breaking through at this point. Especially if the bulbs are on a south-facing or southwest side of your house, a lot of times they will break sooner because of the extra warmth that they're getting. Now, what you're seeing is coming up really is more of the vegetative foliage. And while we still might have some cold temperatures, there can be some burning that happens from those cold temperatures on those leaves that are coming up. You can see here some of our tips have turned brown, but you're still going to have your flower buds because most of the buds are still below the ground. Therefore, they're insulated by that soil. This is why in the fall, when you're planting your bulbs, you want to make sure you're planting them at the appropriate soil depth. If you plant them too shallow, there is potential that they will respond to fluctuating soil temperatures more readily, and therefore they might actually grow too soon, exposing them to those colder temperatures. Now, as they're growing, of course, you can see we've got the vegetation that's coming up, but as long as those flower buds remain below ground for some time, they are going to be insulated from those colder temperatures. If you have some that are starting to sprout already, the actual flower buds, this is more of a concern on your hybrid tulips because really that is your investment. You bought that, and here in Oklahoma, they are treated as an annual. So if you lose your flower buds because they are already up, then you have unfortunately lost your investment on those hybrid tulips. Daffodils, crocus, and hyacinths, however, are perennials. So while those buds may freeze if they are already above ground, they will return next year to try to give you another display. As that foliage is starting to emerge, if we do have a cold snap, usually it will slow down that emergence a little bit, so it will slow down that process. However, here in Oklahoma, we've also been known to have summers one day and then it turned back into winter the next day. And we've had snow on the ground while our bulbs are actually breaking color and beginning to bloom. So if you are in that situation, if we end up having a late snowstorm as our bulbs are beginning to bloom, while these are no longer protected by the soil, don't forget that you can always cut them and bring them indoors. A lot of our spring bulbs make really great cut flowers. And so it's just as simple as cutting them and bringing them indoors. And you can see here we've got a beautiful display of tulips that you can add to your home. The nice thing about spring bulbs is not only will they brighten up a room with their color, but often their fragrance as well. One thing to keep in mind if you're doing this with daffodils, you want to make sure to put daffodils in a separate container because they actually contain a crystal called calcium oxalate. And this crystal can actually be detrimental to other plants, especially the delicate tulips. We hope you enjoyed this video as part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on the OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.